There you go. Provide that European touch. Wait, no. You don't run on Worthless, I promise. Okay, like think of... Okay, here's my analogy, okay? Bucky is like going to the doctor. Okay, actually maybe that's not a good idea. I was gonna say... Bucky is like going to the doctor after the doctor tells you, you know what, you're in great health. And you kind of leave the doctor's office and you're like, oh man, that's excellent. Warpless is like where the doctor has something to say, like, you know what, you need a colonoscopy. We need to insert some kind of like rectal probe into your butt and then check for abnormal growth or something. Like, this is what Warpless is. Like, it's just not a good, pleasant experience at all. Best category, honestly, I think is either normal. Like, so the weird thing about hard mode and normal, yeah, like that small group of people who just love colonoscopies. They're just, yeah, like, Dave, we're gonna cancel you. But the weird thing about hard mode is, like, when you're going through, every damage, like any point of damage, becomes like obviously a one-hit kill. And in hard mode, obviously you don't want to take any damage at all, minus like those 2 death skips that you set up. And normal mode is almost functionally the same, because like when you get really good in normal, which this category is, you don't take damage anyway except for a couple of places. And the reason you don't take damage is because at the very end of every level, your health counts up, so you just waste a ton of time if you're like constantly at low health. So basically what I'm trying to say is, like, absolutely optimal hard mode is equal to running normal mode anyway, minus like 3 screens that change maybe. But hard mode just lends itself to kind of like the death warps better, because you don't have to stand around and take damage. You just literally die immediately, and then you're able to set up the death warps. But I would say both normal. Like, you could try Worthless. Like, the thing about Worthless too is, like, it's not reset heavy at all until you go for that second minecart skip. Because unfortunately I made it RTA, and then when I was running it and stuff like that, I put it into the run, but it saves like 10 seconds, or actually sorry, it's like more like 8 seconds. But it's incredibly awful, because it's like 10 minutes in, it saves 8 seconds, and it's not fun anymore. But if you skip that minecart skip, like, Worthless is pretty easy. Like, there's nothing difficult about Worthless, I think, at all. Because you don't have to set up for the death warps, which honestly aren't hard anyway. But there's just like... What? Okay, that was interesting. Honestly, to some extent, yes. Like, Sidetrakkd, when he came back, he literally said that too. He's like, Dave, he's like, you ruined this category with this stupid skip. And I'm like, well, you know what? Worthless was already ruined because it was worthless, so it's not my fault, technically. But I also can admit I contributed to something bad, because I put that card skip in there and I made it RTA. And it's just not pleasant. You ever play roller games? I always thought about that one. Oh my god. Oh, that's the best one!
The bacon. Thicker. The coins. A little bit thinner. And you think, oh, you used to it. But you know what? You don't.
Oh, is it kind of loud? I can lower it, I guess. Roller Games, and thank you for following. Oops. I'll try to lower it a little bit next level. So I did the categories backwards for that reason. Worthless, there's a lot of screens that I wouldn't say change between normal, but they just don't exist, obviously. So... Okay, wait, sorry. So yeah, Worthless has a bunch of screens that obviously you never see Death working in the other categories. So altogether, there's maybe like 10 extra screens that you would never see in these two categories that you have to learn on top of normal. And then Worthless exclusive strats basically only exist in those screens that you normally don't play anyway. So it's just learning, I guess, like stuff. Oh my god, again. Oh! Yeah, we're good. And then going from Worthless to normal, there's nothing that changes in terms of the strats that you do, other than setting up for the death warps, like in this screen, for example. Because you don't take any damage in Worthless on this screen, but you take a ton in the previous screens to set up for the death warp here. And then, same with in Yellow Planet. You don't take damage for the most part, or at least you recover your health in Worthless. And then going from hard mode, there's a lot of screens that change. So that's why I was saving kind of like hard mode for the last one to return to. Because when I originally learned Bucky, wait, I'll lower this and tell me if it's better. Oh, let's say there maybe. I'll have to adjust it after if it's still too loud. But I originally learned Bucky, I only learned hard mode. So I never actually learned like normal at all. I didn't know how to play like the normal categories. And there's tons of things you do differently. Like all of these screens are extremely different in hard mode because you don't take any damage at all. And there's just like little tiny minor screens like that. But welcome, Bush. How you doing today? I'm too far over by like 1 pixel. I'm gonna get hit. I'm surprised I didn't get hit there. I thought I was over that line. Oops. Apparently we missed that too. Okay, tell me how that is, I guess, for audio balance. I'll keep it there unless it's still too loud. You think? Alright, I'll believe you, Nico. What? I like how Blinky got like blocked for like that one frame until it's like, no, you're not allowed to go in. Never, man. It's impossible. I'll have to like mash my heart out next time. Yeah, I feel roller games might be a game that you enjoy. If you've never played that one anyway. Uh-oh. That wasn't good. Okay. See, like, actually, wait, sorry, I forgot how to set. So Red Planet was okay, but it wasn't super good either. But I guess at least it's good that it's not like +8 out of Red Planet. This is easily the worst part of the speedrun. I've kind of said that many times before streaming. Like, if there's one bad section that sucks, it's this part. But even though you can skip all the other auto-scrollers, you can't skip the vertical ones, unfortunately. But it would be amazing if you could skip this and the vertical climb in particular. Or, sorry, like the vertical climb in, what do you call it? Red Planet. shit. Okay. That could have gone way worse, but... Dude, you bitch. Should be decent though. Nice. Okay. Decent. We do the pixel thing? No, we cannot. Well, that's decent. As long as the stupid monkeys don't kill me, it's gonna be a pretty decent time to save at the end of this split as well. Cause I died here last time, like, where is he? Oh man, he's gonna spawn. He's gonna spawn. You bitch, dude. Okay, whatever. I was gonna say I died here last time on PB that I had, so. You bitch, dude. The bad pattern. Yes, it's an anti-piracy feature, so that's a thing. What's up, Danish, by the way? Yeah, so like hard mode was like originally in the old days of like floppy disks and stuff like that. If you pirated the game, it would read the header information wrong. So if it came back and it said that you failed kind of like the piracy check, if you copied the game to like a floppy disk or something and you played it off that, every damage becomes instant kill. And then for whatever reason, the developers decided to keep that feature in the game itself. So if you enter the password hard exclamation mark at the beginning of the game, it basically enables that feature as if you like bootleg the game. And it becomes drastically different. Like, you probably weren't supposed to beat the game on hard mode, because it was like literally designed to be like an anti-piracy thing. But it's a very good challenge. Like, it's actually really, really, really fun. And when I originally learned Bucky, I learned hard mode. Like, I never ran normal ever. I beat normal one time, but then I immediately just learned hard mode because I thought it was just such a cool thing. And there's a dude named Cypher, which maybe you're aware of because he's kind of like an OG. Really known for obviously like Mega Man 2, but he was kind of like my gateway into speedrunning. Because a long time ago in GDQ, like 2014, if you look it up, he ran hard mode Bucky, and that was like probably one of the first GDQs that I watched. I was like, like beating Bucky so quickly already was like mind blowing to me, but when you could do it on hard mode, it was like even more insane. Shit, I missed it by yeah, just a little bit. Man, missed it by a hair. Yeah, that's right. Hey, what's up, Liflo? Thank you for the raid. What's up, Nar? Welcome on in, everybody. This is a really good run so far, so welcome on in. We're trying to get second place in this category. I don't think this is good enough. I think we're gonna miss it just by a little bit, but this would be pretty close if the rest goes okay. Second place is 2401. So we currently have a 2420. But as I said, I think I made too many errors in the early game. So even if the rest ends okay, which hopefully it will, I don't think it's good enough quite for second place. This kill is actually a 2-pixel kill, so being able to slide right in there is nice. So we didn't mess that up or have to adjust it. But how was your stream? What were you up to today? And thank you again very much for that raid. Yeah, slightly not good enough. But that was Deathless, so that's getting better. What's up, Zoda? So, this is gonna be awful to run against now. Like, Salvage and Magma, back to back. Legitimate golds is not good. But at least the early game is not so good. What's up, Bumbledon? Cosmic, how you guys today? And Vin? The U-Force, what is that? Not familiar with U-Force. But thank you. LaFloy? I never know how to pronounce your name, man. I'm sorry. Cosmic, Eldest, Bumbledon, Zoda, Vin. And then this was decent. Early game was bad. Like, I should always be like minus. See, this is actually really interesting too, because I think I legitimately have to change some strats, but at the same time I don't. It just means, because I was saying that the other day, like when I was streaming literally yesterday, like if I were to get like almost a perfect run where everything goes well, it would be like 23, probably like 40 something. And my sums of best literally just dropped down to 23.54. So I think it's possible for sure that I could get like a 23, 40, or 50 something. But other than that, like, I gotta study Callum's run, I think. Like, there's all kinds of stuff where he's just like better, but I don't understand where. Because for the most part, like, it's literally 1-to-1. Like, I'm copying all of Callum's old record strats. Oh dang. I've never heard of that. I actually heard of like some weird shit. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that one, but I never knew it existed. It was for like the Super Nintendo, and it was like basically like a jetpack that you like put on your back. It was like literally like a backpack. And I guess the idea, it was designed around like Mortal Kombat 2 back then. But the idea was like you could feel and hear, because it would vibrate whenever you got punched, but then it would also play like the sound effect from, I guess, like this backpack thing as well. And I watched like a stupid YouTube video about it explaining it, but I'm a pretty big nerd when it comes to like, I don't know, devices and stuff like that, but I've never heard of apparently the U-Force, but apparently this other thing too. Let's see. I wonder if I can find that quickly. So apparently it was called the Aura Interactor. And it was a thing, man. Like, wait, I'll load it and share the screen real quickly. But yeah, like it was, okay, we'll go like that. I never knew this thing existed until yesterday. Well, sorry, not yesterday, but recently. So let's go like this. And then we'll just go like that. This will be like the weirdest PB video ever. It's like, okay, let's just literally talk about this thing now. Yeah, it's a thing that you can literally see. Sorry, wait, I'm gonna minimize that. Like, you literally wore it, and I never knew this thing existed. And apparently it's shitty, so who would have guessed? But it like literally came from like 1990. Look at this kid, huh? He's like, yeah! Ooh man, that 240p really held up well. But yeah, it was this thing. So that's the thing. Anyone else ever see this thing exist? Because I sure didn't. I think it was like cross-compatible with the Genesis as well. Or at least there was like a Genesis one that was made or something too. But I didn't know either of these existed. Same, yeah. I mean, I like stuff like that, but I'll have to look up that U-Force thing later, because I've never heard of that ever before. The Sega Activator, I'm not sure if I know that one either. Oh man, alright. So we're 10 seconds off of second place now.